All right, folks, welcome to this video on using Blender. So in the majority of my videos, I've used Maya, but I know Blender is out there and available for free to folks, so I am going to try to make some of those videos as well. And so right now I'm using Blender 4.0, and so I'm just going to go in here and to start, I'll just do a file save as. And for this little video, we are going to make a little blocky character. I'll kind of, let me just import one in. So I'm going to take this cube real quick and just hit delete to get rid of it. I'm going to import in a file real quick to show you what we're going to create. And I've done this guy in Maya already, but now I'm going to show you how to do basically the same thing using Blender. So previously in other videos, I've created this guy in Maya and shown you how to use him or take him into Mixamo so that Mixamo can animate him for you, as well as rig it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that guy and we're going to get started. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring him back, do Control Z just so that I can push him off to the side. And we'll have him as our reference. You don't need the reference. I'm just going to use him so I can kind of keep showing you what we're doing. All right, so if you've got Blender open, I'm just going to go ahead and do File, Save As. I'm going to go ahead and put it, I think I'll put it on my desktop, and I'm just going to call this Blender Mixamo Man. We'll just call it number one. All right, so now working in Blender is a little different than Maya. Some of the tools are close to the same, but there are some differences. So if I hold the mouse wheel down, the middle mouse wheel, I can rotate. I can scroll the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. If I hold, let's see, Shift and middle mouse wheel, it will let me pan from side to side. If you hold the right mouse button, it moves your center anchor point basically. And then let's see, trying to think of what else is there to show you. Then another thing that I like to use in Maya is I like to use quad view. And so for here, you can go to view, area, toggle quad view. And so that'll give me my front view, my side view, top view, and perspective. All right, then some other things you will notice here that are different. Object mode, which is this little drop down. If I'm in there, I can basically select entire objects. If I have that object selected, I can then choose other options, which edit mode will allow me to modify something. So let's go ahead and get ready to start modeling. All right, and if for some reason you accidentally move this guy, and you want to put him back to center, if you right click on it and tell it to do cursor to world origin, it'll put it back in the center. And wherever that is, when you create objects, that's where it's going to place them. And so now what I'm going to do is go to add mesh, and I'm going to choose a cube. So that's going to be our head. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that guy up, looking at my side view. Again, you don't need the references. I have it there so I can kind of show you what we're building. I'm gonna scale it up a hair, and so when you scale, you choose your scale tool. If you want to do proportionate scaling, you grab the edge of this ring to scale it up. Otherwise, you can grab whichever one of these cubes you want to scale in that direction. All right, then I'm gonna hold, and again, you got to get used to the movements if you have been coming over from Maya. Holding shift and middle mouse wheel will let you pan around. Middle mouse wheel will let you rotate under. So now I want to scale or actually edit this object. So I'm going to select it, go to where it says object mode, choose edit mode. And in here, you see that you've got your vertices, edges, faces up here in the top left, unlike in Maya. So I'm going to choose faces. I'm going to choose this bottom face. And in Maya, we would have done a extrude by hitting Control E. In here, just going to hit E. Now, I don't want to do anything yet with it, so I'm going to press S because I want to scale it down. So I pressed E, then I pressed S to get it to where I can make the neck. Once I got it the way I want, I click. Face is still selected, so I'm going to press E again. Pull that guy down some. Click. Press E, but this time I want to scale again. So I'm going to press S again. I'm going to bring it up to the size of close to the head size. But then I'm going to grab my scale tool, and on the side view, I want to scale it down so his shoulders are a little thinner. Then I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll scale it widthwise, so from either the front or the top view to give him a little shoulder span. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and do E again. Pull down. And we are just trying to create what would be his torso. All right. All right, so now we're going to try to put his arms in. Oops, I always press the wrong button. All right, so I'm pressing shift and the middle mouse wheel holding it, trying to scale down some. All right, now we're gonna cut to make a little line here, or an edge so that we can then extrude his arms. And that is going to be this loop cut right here. So I'm going to, on my toolbar, select loop cut. Gonna hover around, gives me a yellow line. I'm gonna click and hold so I can pull it up to the height that I want the arms to be. Then I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna go vertically, so hover down near this bottom, but I want to put it just to the left of this blue line, and then do another one just to the right of the blue line, so I create a little space between where the legs are going to be. Then I'm going to go click another tool so I don't accidentally put a loop cut that I don't want. Now in my perspective, going to hold shift again. Oh, sorry, just middle mouse wheel, hold that, rotate. And going to go to face mode. Shift select each of those on the sides there. Then I'm going to hit E to extrude. And of course, it's not working the way because it's a little different than Maya. So I'm going to undo that. We'll just do one arm at a time. So I'll do E, pull this one out. So select it, do E. I'm going to make that a little under or a little over 4. Rotate around. select the other one, do E, bring that one out. So it'll work. All right, finally, the legs. I'm going to select these two faces. I think we can pull both of them down. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. It's Shift to move that. Press E and pull both of those down. And now I've got my little man. All right. So now I'm going to go to object mode. I am going to go to file save. Then I'm going to go ahead and do file export with my character selected. And actually, let me go ahead and delete this guy out. So I just select him and press delete. I'm going to select this guy again, do file save, do file export, FBX. And we're going to call this Blender Mixamo Man 1. I'm going to put him on my desktop, hit export. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull up mixamo.com, bring that up, and I'll show y'all. I'm going to bring up mixamo.com. If you don't have an account, you can create one. You don't actually need Adobe software to do it. You can just create an account for free. I'm going to log in. All right. Now, this is the Maya one that I've created previously, but instead I'm going to hit this upload character button. I'm going to do select character file, go to my desktop, and I'm looking for my Blender Mixamo Man. So I'm going to select him. I'm going to process him and hit next. Now it's going to ask me to mark where these certain parts are. So I'm going to put the chin, the wrists, the elbows, the knees, and the groin. And so you want to have them, make sure that they do show up on the actual faces. Don't leave them like close to the edge because it may not register right. If you had different body shapes for the character, for some reason it wasn't symmetrical, you could turn off use symmetry. I'm going to hit next. We're going to see how this registers. Usually takes a couple minutes, but if it works, it'll run a little test there. I'm going to hit next, next, and all of a sudden your character's in here. Now you can go through the library of things that Mixamo has to offer, these types of animations. Now they are made more for like video game cycles so that you could put them into a game engine and have it replay the cycle over and over. But you can also adapt it for animation. So I'm going to just pick one just for our purposes, maybe one that's a little easier to see. All right, so you can pick one you like. Then when you've got the one you want, you hit download. I usually leave all the defaults, hit download. Then I'm going to go back into Blender. I'm going to do another save on this file. But then I'm going to go ahead and do a file new. And I'll do general. This box that shows up, I'm just going to select it and hit delete. Then I'm going to do file import. I'm going to look for FBX. Going to go to my downloads, find the one that I just chose. And in this case, it was dodging right. So it names it whatever it was. I'm going to import it. And now I've got my little character. You'll see it has its frames. So I could use that animation. If I wanted, I could build a scene around it just for that particular animation. It does take some playing with, but you can use those Mixamo animation pieces um, for actual 3D filmmaking if you wanted. Again, it's made more for video game, but you can make it work. You could mirror in here to go the opposite way. Certain ones that have them, let me do like let me look for walk. So if I have a walk here, or let's actually do a regular walk. Some of them, you can actually tell it to do it in place, which will then just re-loop the animation, and then you can do some little rigging magic in Blender or Maya to make it move forward. So you just loop that animation and then you move them. So there's a lot that you can do. But this video is just kind of showing you how to build that little blocky character, so the basics of modeling in Blender, and then using Mixamo to create the animation for it. Now, obviously, this needs some touch-ups. It's not perfect with the way Blender adapted its rig to the character, and in future videos, I hope to show how to fix some of that using Blender and Maya. All right, but I'm going to end this video with that. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next videos.